Senator, you've done so much, but you're approaching the last segment of your second term in the Senate. What would you say would be your most memorable legacy, and what's left on your plate between now and the end of your term in 2025?
I will just say yung legislation that I have to pass before I end my term, it's the livestock, poultry, and dairy bill.
Very important.
Because they were hit by ASF, and they're having a hard time to recover. Before, I didn't pass any law for them because it's private sector-led. Kayang-kaya nila. Except when ASF came in, pati private sector hit. So I have to pass a law to help them. And at the same time, I have to pass also the corn law. Corn development law, because that is important to livestock, because that is the feed of the livestock. So I'll pass them together. And of course, I still have to pass many legislated protected area because there are still many in
Malingon
the Philippines.
Na kayo, may bago na namang...
And one of the things I passed for hatchery, for fisheries is the establishment of hatcheries in fish hatcheries in fishing areas. And I have passed 41, and I think we are passing more before I leave my position. So those are the things that I have to do pa. And at the same time, if you're talking of legacy, I think my legacy to Las Piñas will be the Las Piñas Zapote River Drive. Because with this, I have cleaned the river, and I ensured that there will be no flooding in Las Piñas. Because it solved two problems. I think in Las Piñas, our problem is just traffic and flooding. So if I can solve traffic, which the river drive has solved, because 15,000 cars passes through the river drive a day, and then we remove the flooding. Before, we have flooding in our 3 barangays. Ngayon, wala na tayong flooding. So I guess that's my best legacy to Las Piñas. But nationwide, I would think that my farm school, I have 4 in the Philippines, and there are already 2,800 farm schools all over the Philippines. Except that 800 lang ang accredited with TESDA, but that is a going concern. So I guess that's one of my best legislation. And of course, the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund, I hope that the rice farmers will be competitive after 10 years or 6 to 10 years, I hope, because it takes time. And then, and as well as the Coconut Farmers and Industry Development Fund will be successful because it will broaden the outlook of coconut farmers in the Philippines. Those are the biggest area in the Philippines. There are 2.5 million rice farmers and 2.5 million coconut farmers. So between the two of them, that's almost
Quite big.
half of all the farmers in the Philippines. So I hope that I will be successful there.
Is there a future political career for you after 2025? It's difficult because your daughter is in the House. You have a son also in the
Senate.
Are you counting on them to carry on the work, or are you looking to carve out your own?
Yeah, I think I will have to convince Mark to continue my work, and then at the same time, I have to continue with my work as a private citizen with regards to agriculture. And I don't know, it depends how I feel in 2025.
I was going to say, even Senator Manny has his own project
Manny
now.
Is really bent on continuing his business. And I think, Manny is doing the business not for money. He wants to prove to people that even if you're poor, but if you have education and you have the right attitude, you will be successful in life. That's the only thing he's proving, because after all that has happened, the success that God has given him, he remains a very simple man. So you never I'm amazed how simple he is,
Right.
in spite of all the things he has done.
I remember, Senator, he used to play pelota around this area with my dad. And I don't know, he told me, I don't know if it's true, maybe you can confirm this. My dad used to accompany Senator Manny when he courted you, I think, many years ago.
I think so. Because your dad has been a Las Piñeros
Opo.
from his childhood, I think.
Yes,
Oo,
yes.
kaya, and during that time, Las Piñas is not so developed.
Right.
So everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, right.
So you really go together.
Right.
And it's a small town.
But there's a lot of potential in Las Piñas that people don't know much about, or maybe have forgotten over the years.
No. I think we will, alam mo, tayo talaga sa Las Piñas, this is a residential community.
Opo.
We are not really meant for industrial or things like that. We are basically a residential community. And at the same time, there are many malls because that's where the people go.
Yeah.
But I hope we can develop something like this farm school where the children not only go to malls, but also go to the farm.
Yeah.
Like my grandson, I bring him, and my granddaughter, I bring them to the farm so that they will love the farm. And I hope when I die, they will not sell the farm.
Now, Senator, I was thinking about culture.
You have to brainwash them to
Opo.
love what you like.
Yeah.
Di ba?
I was talking about culture, and one of the things that Las Piñas is known for is St. Joseph Church, the bamboo
Yes,
organ, the Las Piñas Boys
historical.
Choir, very historical.
Yeah, that dam beside us
Opo.
is 140 years old.
I used to play there, Senator, when I was a young boy.
You know, we had to build the road, so there was a museum there, so we transferred it here. We have now a new museum here
Right.
because we made the museum site into a road.
Opo.
So we transferred the museum here, so you can still go to the museum about the dam here.
And many of the projects you've done here, the hospital, they follow that parang theme yung
Manny
design.
passed a legislation called the Las Piñas Historical Corridor.
Right.
So in that area, old Las Piñas, you have to build it with Spanish motif
Right.
because to
Right.
maintain the atmosphere
Right.
of because we have there the bamboo organ church,
Right.
the bamboo organ, the bridge there in the middle is a historical bridge also, and this Zapote Bridge is historical also.
Zapote is very historical, yeah.
Because that's where the 1897 Battle of the Zapote,
Zapote Bridge, yeah.
occurred, and this one is historical also. And we have many historical sites, and we have a priest during that time, San Ezekiel Moreno, who became a saint, and now the patron saint of cancer patients. So we built a church for him in C5,
Right.
and their order gave us 2 bone relics
Oh, wow.
to be given to the church. So pilgrims can go there and pray, especially when you have cancer.
Right.
So that it has been proven, that's why he became a saint, that all who pray, he died of cancer, and all those who prayed to him were healed of cancer. So that's now a pilgrim church, that Santuario de San Ezekiel Moreno. Yeah.
After 2025, would you entertain calls to maybe join the cabinet, maybe Secretary of Agriculture?
No, I've never thought of that. I always wanted an elective position
Okay.
because that is given by the people.
Okay.
Parang mas may freedom ka doon, di ba?
Right, right.
Kaysa cabinet position.
Right.
But I don't know. Depends how I feel in 2025.
Senator, you said you have some major bills that you still want to work on.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe before we go, maybe you can give a message to our audience. What you need support on or something. I know you have many advocacies: environment, agriculture, local development, poverty alleviation. There's so many things you're working on still. How can people help you?
I've always believed that people should organize themselves into cooperatives.
Okay.
Oo. That's why every year we give not necessarily cooperative but association, because that's the only thing that we can achieve economies of scale. Sabi nila, ano daw, encourage ang private sector. But you know, because of our land reform programs, ang ownership ng land sa mga farmers is about, on the average, 1 to 2 hectares.
Maliit lang.
There's no economies of scale.
Yeah.
We can only achieve the economies of scale by establishing cooperatives so that people can work together and achieve that economies of scale without sacrificing the ownership of land by small farmers. And we encourage this in our foundation because every year we give two prizes. One for young people in association who help reduce poverty.
Okay.
So that's every July. And we give cash prize for, we choose 10.
Wow.
And then in December, we choose another 20 for adult cooperatives who contributed to poverty reductions. And we've given to the best. If you see the list, that's why I'm very familiar with cooperatives, because I award them every year. And because of that, they're very nice to me also, the cooperatives in the whole country. And really, there are very good cooperatives in the country. And I want to encourage that. That's why I gave a budget to the Cooperative Development Authority to help in building cooperatives. Kasi that's the only way you empower the small.
Yeah.
The small and micro, that they have an association and the government can give them, because government cannot give large amount of aid to individuals.
Yeah.
Maybe the seeds they can, because every farmer is planting seeds, but machineries, processing machine, which are necessary to empower them, you have to give it to an association or an LGU. So that's what I want to encourage, the establishment of cooperatives all over the country, even among young people and among old people.
Yeah, people ask why you're so invested in agriculture, but people forget, except those like myself who've lived here for a long time, this whole area was really
Agriculture.
Las Piñas was farming, fishing, asinan, di ba?
Oh, I remember my mom used, we have a what do you call this, a rice mill. And hindi ba pag binuhat yung palay, nababagsak sa floor, iniipon niyan lahat yon. Tapos yun ang pinakakain namin sa aming rice. Kaya halo-halo yung rice namin. So I'm used to eating rice na hindi masyadong masarap kasi iniipon lang ng mother ko doon sa mga bumagsak sa floor. And we have a poultry farm. So ang dami naming empleyadong mga nag-aalaga ng manok. So, yun ang pinakakain niya din doon. So, I guess I remember her fondly about those.
Well, Senator, thank you very much for your time, and we wish you luck on all of your programs. Any final thoughts you'd like to give our audience?
I just want to tell them that every problem has a solution.
Okay.
But
Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up. You keep an open mind and listen to the solution.
Okay.
Sometimes they're very hard-headed. They don't want to listen.
Even though if it's simple.
Yeah. Sabi nga, minsan, common sense is not common after all. Sige.
Senator, thank you very much. This has been Business and Politics on SMNI. I'd like to thank all the viewers watching this program live and those watching the replay. I'd also like to thank Pastor Apollo Kibuloy for making this program possible. I'll see you all next week.